So hi guys. Today I'm going to be doing an original tag. I hadn't done one of these in a little while, but I have so many of these that I have come up with. So this one has just been sitting waiting for me to get around to doing it. So we're doing it today. This is going to be the Christian Kids Shows tag. I don't really have a better title for it. Basically, this is based around Christian children's shows that basically shows I watched as a kid that you may have watched as a kid if you grew up in a Christian home, or if you're a parent that you may want to show your kids. And then just pairing books with some prompts based on those. All right, so the first show is VeggieTales, which is, of course, a classic. Everyone who's seen it loves it, I think. Not everyone. There are some people who don't love it, but there are obviously some episodes that are better than others, but VeggieTales was a staple of my childhood and will probably be a staple of baby's childhood. So, the prompt for VeggieTales is a biblical retelling in a different setting, because so many of those original VeggieTales movies were taking Bible stories and retelling them in a different format. So, for example, you have Rack, Shack, and Benny, which is a retelling of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in a chocolate factory. You have King George and the Ducky, which is a retelling of David and Bathsheba in a medieval world where rubber duckies are a thing. You have lots of these, so that's why I thought this was a good prompt for VeggieTales. So I'm... Okay, it doesn't have to be a biblical retelling. I'm actually going to change that prompt now that I'm saying it. Retelling in a different setting. Yeah, so you don't have to just stick with Bible stories. Yeah. So a retelling in a different setting. And so for this, my answer is Dream of Kings by Sharon Hink. This is a fantasy retelling of the story of Joseph from the Bible. All right, next is 3-2-1 Penguins, a book with significant animal characters. I didn't watch a lot of 3-2-1 Penguins as a kid. I watched a little, like a few episodes, but I watched it recently as an adult because for a while they were on PureFlix. But now I think they're uploading a lot of them onto the VeggieTales YouTube channel. By the way, that's another thing. All of the VeggieTales, or not all, but like a good chunk of the VeggieTales are free on their YouTube channel. They don't have the countertop scenes, which I'm a little sad about, but in case you don't actually own these and you want to give them a shot, I know that these two specifically, they have quite a few free episodes up on their YouTube channel, just free to the public. So the prompt for 3-2-1 Penguins is a book with significant animal characters, because there are, four. There are 4 significant penguin characters. So, and for this, I'm going to go with the classic, of course, Narnia. Narnia has lots of significant animal characters because a lot of the cast is talking animals. So, yeah. All right, next is Friends and Heroes. This is a show set around the time of the destruction of the temple in like 70 AD. I did not discover this show until like after baby was born. And I loved it. I binged it on PureFlix like 2 or 3 times in a row. Started showing hubby some of it. This is a really good show and I strongly recommend it. Is it kind of lame? Yes. It is mostly told through like 2D animation, but then it has Bible stories with extremely bad CGI. So like it switches to 3D animation, and those are extremely bad. Like the quality of the animation in that is extremely bad, but I really enjoyed this series. All right, so for this, I'm doing a series with a great ending you did not see coming. And I'm specifically thinking there is one line in the last 5 minutes of the episode of the final episode of this show. I don't want to tell you what it is because it was so wonderful, but you're gonna, as the adult watching it, you are gonna bust out laughing probably, and then you'll need to explain to your children why this line is so funny. So for this, I'm gonna go with the Alon series. I haven't talked about Alon in a while, and I don't know why. I really should, because I love Alon. But yeah, Alon is a 9-book Christian non-magical fantasy series, and I really loved the series as a kid. When I read book 8, I was reading these as they came out. 1 through 4 I binged because I've discovered the series after book 4 was published, but before book 5 was published. So I binged 1 through 4, and then the rest of them I read as they came out. So after I read book 8, I was like, okay, why is there a book 9? Like, why? But then I read book 9 and I was like, oh, that's why. So the fact, like, that's why I'm saying this is a series with a great ending I did not see coming, because I finished book 8 and I was like, that's the end. I don't know why do we need another book? But then you read the final book and you're like, this has been a problem that I did not see for the whole series. And yet it's a thing. And so, yeah, that was a really great ending. All right, next is StoryKeepers, a story within a story. Because StoryKeepers is kind of similar to Friends and Heroes, but they are different. StoryKeepers is also set around the time of the destruction of Jerusalem, I believe. And this one is about, I didn't really tell you what Friends and Heroes was about. Friends and Heroes is about, it's about one Jewish kid who is very much a rebel and wants Rome to not be ruling them anymore, but he's a Christian. Like, he's not a Jew, or, well, he's Jewish ethnically, but religiously he's a Christian. There we go. That's how you say that. And he has lots of wild adventures, and I can't really explain the full show because other than 2 characters, the main cast changes every season. Like, there's 3 seasons, and the location and the cast changes in all 3 seasons, which is really weird, but it works in this show. So, anyways, StoryKeepers is about it's about a baker and his wife, and they take in a bunch of kids who who are orphans and don't have anywhere else to go, and they're believers, and they, when the kids have issues, they tell the kids Bible stories to encourage them, get them to start acting right. So for the prompt is story within a story, because the Bible stories are so prominent. So for this, the prompt is going to be a book with storytelling as an element, because the stories are so prominent. So for this one, I am going to do the Blades of Actar series, because in the first book, Brandy, Rena's one of the main characters, Rena's little sister, she tells Bible stories to Leith, the other main character, like, a lot. And she insists on doing that. It's really sweet. I really love that aspect of it. So, all right, next is one that I feel like I'm not exactly sure how many other people remember this show. StoryKeepers, I watched a little bit as a kid, the last prompt. This one, I watched several episodes of it as a kid. Like, I feel like I had access to a few of them, like, on VHS somehow. I am just barely old enough to where I had VHS tapes. But, like, also young enough to where we definitely had DVDs for my whole childhood as well. But anyway, Cherub's Wings. I don't even remember what the plot of this show is, but I remember the main character was a cherub. Yeah, I have lots of memories of this show. I was talking with a couple of my friends who are both they're both older than me, by enough that we don't fully cross over in what we watched as kids. And this is one of the shows where they were like, I've never heard of this. So I felt like I was like, I'm not Berenstain Bearsing this show into existence, am I? And then I looked it up and I'm like, okay, no, this was a real thing. I am glad I didn't remember what it was called. I had to, like, just Google Christian kids show about angels, and then I finally found it. But I was like, okay, good, this was real. I'm not just making this up in my head. Anyway, so because this is about an angel, definitely not a biblical angel, because this is a cherub that looks like a baby, and I don't know if y'all know how I feel about that. I don't feel great about that. I don't like that. But anyway, this prompt is a book featuring the spiritual realm, and for this, I am going to go with actually 2 answers, because I have one, and then after I wrote these answers down, I read more books. And so the answer for this one, I've got 2. One is Dream Treaders by Wayne Thomas Batson, but I talk about that series a lot. So I'm going to go with another one that's a more recent read. I also talk about this one a lot, admittedly, and that's Wars of the Realm by Chuck Black. Yeah, this one definitely features the spiritual realm quite heavily. Yeah. As in, the main character can now see into the spiritual realm, and he can see angels and demons, and yeah. And then book 2 is very much about it, because it's from the perspective of one of the angels that he sees a lot. So, yeah. Book 2 especially was really good. Weirdly, I liked book 2. Book 2 was weird, but I really it was weird that book 1 was about the main character of the series. Book 2 is then about the angel. And then book 3 is about the main character again. And it's like, why? But also, I really liked it. So, yeah. Really liked book 2. So, yeah. All right. Next is Hermie and Friends, a book with a great friend group. Because Hermie and Friends, I watched that one as a kid, too. It was a really great show. I watched quite a bit of Hermie and Friends, I think. It had... See, Max Lucado would show up at the very beginning and talk to Hermie. And then they would have a story. And Hermie is played by Tim Conway. Mm-hmm. And Hermie's best friend, Wormy, is played by Don Knotts. Whom, of course, I grew up with as Barney Fife on Andy Griffith. Actually... we watched Andy Griffith my whole life, but I watched Hermie early enough that I probably remember him better from my childhood as Wormy than I do as... No, that's not true. We watched Andy Griffith a lot as a kid, but probably earlier memories that stuck are probably of him as Wormy as opposed to him as Barney Fife, which is really weird, but also, I've known him as Barney Fife forever too. But anyway, a book with a great friend group. I'm going with Barenfell Prophecies by Wayne Thomas Batson and Christopher Hopper, I think. I never give Christopher Hopper credit for this series because I just think of it as a Wayne Thomas Batson series, but it's totally a joint effort. I love this series. There are 7, what are they called? Elf lords. Some of them are girls. They call them lords as well. I wish they would call them ladies, lords and ladies, but whatever. So, yeah. That is... their friend group is amazing. I love them. They become found family. It's great. I love it. Finally, Bibleman, a book with a larger-than-life hero. I actually did not watch Bibleman as a kid, and I've not really watched it as an adult as much either, after baby was born. I don't really know why I didn't watch it. I just didn't. But my prompt for Bibleman, because he is a superhero, is a larger-than-life hero. And by this, I mean, a superhero-type character. Who was I going to say for this? I have an answer written down and I don't like it, so I'm going to change it. I think I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, I will say that my larger than life character is Jace from Ilion. I was like, what is that series called? I cannot believe I forgot Ilion. Yeah, Jace is very much he's not fully a superhero, but he's pretty cool. We like Jace. We really like Jace. All right, so that is my original tag. Please feel free to do this tag. I will tag some people, but if you liked these shows as a kid or have shown them to your kids or anything, please let me know in the comments. Let's see. Also, let me know in the comments answer the VeggieTales prompt. Why don't you a retelling in a different setting? Because I really like those, and so I would like to have more of those, please. So, who am I gonna tag? I think I will tag... I'm gonna tag a mix... No, I'll just tag random people, I guess. I'll tag Celestria and Lindsay, because it feels like we have similar childhoods where we grew up watching similar things. And... let's see. I definitely want to tag those two. Do I want to tag anybody else? Yeah, I'll tag Sarah over at Sarah's Tangled Tales. I don't know for sure if she's ever mentioned watching VeggieTales or anything, but I feel like we kind of have, again, feels like we kind of grew up similar era there. And anybody else I want to tag? Maybe that'll be it and leave plenty of people for others to tag. Yeah, I guess that'll be it. So I'll tag you 3 ladies. Please, like I said, please answer the retellings prompt in the comments. And just let me know if you watched any of these shows as a kid, if you have any fond memories of any of these. And if you've heard of Friends and Heroes especially, because that was my really surprising one that I discovered as an adult. And I was like, this was such a good show. Wait, I didn't have Superbook in there. Which also I did not watch as a kid, but I discovered as an adult. How did I not have Superbook in there? Oops. Oh well. I feel like some of those prompts could work for Superbook too, though. Did I have Superbook? I don't think I did. Now I'm second guessing myself, but I'm pretty sure I did not just say Superbook. Steven, did I talk about Superbook?
Just in this video?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think I did. Oh, well, I guess I just forgot it. I watched that one as an adult too, and I liked it okay. It wasn't my favorite, so I guess I'm okay with forgetting it. But, yeah. All right. Have a good day. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.